Hey everybody, hope you had a great weekend. I have been so busy all weekend. Got a lot done, and there was a lot I still didn't get done. But such is life, and it'll all wait till tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited. My mobile ham radio comes in tomorrow. Baofeng is the brand. It is super awesome. I've been spending some time today between tasks, which is why I'm such a big YouTube fan, because while something's cooking for 10 minutes, I can sit down and watch a quick video. I don't have to worry about a 30-minute or an hour-long show. But I've been watching videos today, reviews, and I actually posted one on the page. This radio cost me $25. I don't intend on getting a, what do you call it, ham radio license, because I don't plan on ever transmitting. And besides, from what I understand, in an emergency situation, you can transmit anyway. But I do want to monitor, and knowing how far I live from main large cities, I am an hour any given way from a large city. I know I'm not going to be able to afford a radio that's going to get what they're getting. Or get what they're sending, rather. So I'm going to have to be happy with local. So this one has a 15-mile radius, and I know that we have a minimum of 2 repeaters within that radius, not including the sheriff's office. And I don't quite know how that works with them. Supposedly I'll be able to monitor that frequency. Not that I care to, because I have a radio in my office that monitors that frequency all day long. So I really don't care. But I will care if shit hits the fan. So anyway, it'll be nice to be able to do so. But I'm really excited about it, and it's only $25. And of all the things you could invest in your preps, I mean, you could even monitor your weather through this radio. It isn't just SHTF, disaster or preparedness. I mean, you can tune it into the frequency of your local weather, and it's, you know, it charges, so it has a battery on it. I don't know how long it lasts, but I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll actually show you guys everything when it comes in, and after I play with it and kind of get a feel for at least remotely using it. But I mean, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't get this. So anyway, I hope you give it some thought and watch that video of that guy who, it's something like the Baofeng UV5R for Dummies video. I saved it because I'm going to go back to it when I get my radio in, because it's an awesome video. But anyway, I think you should consider buying it. You know, just, I mean, even if you don't plug it in and you don't use it, that's groovy. But you should have it just in case you do, and be familiar with how it works and how to run it. So, storage challenge check-in. This was a tough freaking week for that. And as you know, I do it bi-weekly, so my 2 weeks were 5 pounds of pancake mix and 5 pounds of powdered milk. The pancake mix was no problem. relatively cheap. Filled my container as expected that it would. And actually, I think the whole 5 pounds fit in that container. Anyway, the powdered milk. Is that shit made out of gold? Number one, there was no way I was going to buy 5 pounds of it because it's like $10 a pound. Nearly. It isn't, but damn close. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's not something I can do. I can't do it. Now, will I ever be able to do it? Possibly. You know, it may be that I have to buy 1 pound at a time, which I know is not as cost effective, but you know what? When you've got $50 to spend at the store and, you know, you're wanting to buy powdered milk that's 20 of it, nah, not going to happen. So anyway, I'll figure that out. But it got me to thinking about calcium and dairy and like products in my stores. You know, I worry a lot about protein in my stores because I know that protein will be, you know, now I have access to eggs and stuff, but, you know, I'm always like, I need to make sure I have protein in my stores, and that's great, except for calcium and all of vitamin D, all the other things that you get from dairy is important too. So I canned cheese. I did. I'm not the first person to ever can cheese. It's all over. In fact, there were numerous instructions for me to access on doing so. It's kind of an experiment right now. I canned up, well, what ended up being, I bought maybe it was not quite 10-pound log of Farmer's cheese. And it's really good, awesome cheese. And of course I had to eat some immediately of opening it. Then I chunked off some to put in the fridge. And the rest I canned. And I lost one. The dreaded bottom blowout. So basically lost a good 8 ounces. Well, no. A good, probably almost pound of cheese. So I ended up with 6 pints, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. I'm not sure this cheese could have been waxed. I would have to now, like a hard cheddar, something like that. You can wax it. It'll last quite a long time. This is a softer cheese. It tastes just like a cheddar. It's not super soft. It's not like a cream cheese, but it is softer and it is crumblier. So I'd have to research on whether you can wax it. But I knew that over the years I have many times listened to these ladies talk and look at these videos and these posts about how they have been canning cheese. So give it a go, and we'll touch base on that at a later date to see how it turned out. But anyway, only got 2 dozen eggs this week. But it was a tough weather week. I mean, we had some bitter cold. We've had storms. We've had winds. You know, it's just been, but here's another thing too. They've been out because it has been sunny. Some of those days, and it will not surprise me at all if I find a stash eventually, of which I'll have to throw all of them away. But such as it is when you let your chickens roam. But I let my chickens roam because it's best for the chickens, and I get the best eggs, and, you know, now my husband, he does it smart. He shuts them up till about 1 or 2, and then lets them out. That way they get their laying done in the morning, and they're not so tempted to lay somewhere else. And I really think that's a smart idea, so I probably ought to do that tonight. All right, there is my bi-weekly stores. Now, I do usually take stuff down weekly, but my big hauls are bi-weekly, which is grocery shopping week. And I got 3 quarts of broth. I have 3 quarts of chicken meat, shredded, which I made you a video on doing, and I hope you take advantage of that. And I've got 4 quarts of whole pieces on the bone. And I'm going to try to come in here so you can see that leg? These are whole pieces. And I actually have 2 quarts in the canner right now of back parts. And here's the deal on that. So when you get leg quarters, what you get is a quarter of a chicken. And you lay a chicken flat and they cut it into 4s. So, Belle, hush. So you are going to get a leg and a thigh. And you're going to get a quarter of a back. Okay, I cut that quarter of a back off. And normally, or sometimes, I just feed it to whomever's lucky enough to be around me to get it. Sometimes I leave it connected to the thigh, and we just have giant thighs when I fry them. But this time, number one, due to size, pieces that big just are not going to fit in these jars. In fact, I suggest you buy wide mouths for this. And really only, I think from now on, I'm only going to buy wide mouths. I separated them from the thigh. And I really didn't want to feed them to anybody. I mean, it just seemed like there was still just a lot there. So I canned them, just like I canned these whole pieces. And I'm going to use those for, I can season a stew later on. I mean, you would use it much in a way you would use a ham hock. So I've got 2 quarts of those still in the canner. So I'm not even done. But there's my 2 dozen eggs that I got this week. So, anybody listening from work tomorrow, I'll have 4 dozen again. This 2 that was laid last week, and then 2 that was laid the week before. And I did 2 quarts of fresh green beans, and back there are 2 quarts of asparagus. And then 3.5 quarts of carrots. And then there's my 6 quarts of, or not quarts, pints of farmer's cheese. And then, of course, my sugar. And in lieu of flour this week, I did the pancake mix. Ended up, again, buying pancake syrup because I keep forgetting I was not out after all. But that's okay, because I just take it downstairs to my store. So anyway, not so bad. So, Papa is gone, taking Aiden back. But he'll be back next weekend. Nene has gone back. Double. But she'll be back on spring break on the 22nd. The meat, I've got to start taking a few pieces off of the dehydrator. Pretty tasty. This was the mix that came with the marinade that we used on this. Was the mix that came with that turkey gum. Original is what it said. It's okay. Garlicky. Which is okay. I like garlic. Kind of spicy. I mean, it's alright. I wouldn't want like 10 pounds of it. But it would be okay to throw in the mix. Along with, the Italian sausage jerky. I'd like to try some breakfast sausage jerky, because my thought process is, how awesome would that be to grab in the mornings? And breakfast sausage is cheap. I've got some recipes for bacon jerky. And my thought is not so much bacon, but my thought is turkey bacon. That could be a healthy alternative. Anyway, I'm going to be doing some experimenting. Man, it just sucks that jerky cannot store for a long period of time. Now it'll freeze, and I can freeze it. It gets subject to humidity, so you really got to pack it well. Best thing is to back seal it. But, you know, it's a great way to get protein in your diet. It's a great way, you know, especially if you can get this roast. It was a rump roast, and it was $6, and it was like 3-point-something pounds. So just rounding it down to 3 pounds, I mean, that was $2 a pound. And roasts are not that cheap. So we got 3 pounds of roast that we turned into the whole thing into jerky. And it made quite a bit of jerky. There are still 3 layers, I think, on there that were just kind of thicker. I cut it by hand, so kind of thicker. So I'm going to leave it on there a little longer. But yeah, so I just really wish there was a way to store it, though, long term. But it is what it is. So anyway, I guess I'm going to get off here. I've got, still got an hour or so on that. But it's already 7:30, and I've got some stuff I need to do. I got work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend. Touch base with you throughout the week, and Manic Rep out.